Whether you talk about rural development, whether you talk about self-employment, whether you talk about urban development, whether you talk about agriculture development or industrial development. Without entrepreneurs, you will not have economically viable enterprises.
89% of employment in India generates from the unorganized sector. You may call them unorganized, I call them self-employed. Because such a vast workforce, 89%, cannot be just treated or stamped or described or non-described like unorganized.
The biggest number of complaints have been in this sector, that our programs are very good, the policies are marvelous, but somehow they don't reach the people.
It is an exploitative situation. If you do not provide employment, well, people will take up to any ism, communism, whatever the ism, they will take it up.
But there is also the other, alarming aspect today in our country, where woman is treated like a chattel, woman is a slave, woman is burnt, woman is, even in marriage she has no escape. And what are we to do about this?
We don't believe that women can come up. We don't believe that women are creditworthy. They can't do things. Why should they ask for development? They should be in their homes or they should be doing secretarial jobs. This kind of thing, that sometimes it looks like a mountain, and that depresses me.
In Kashmir, if a woman comes out for business, it's something very, very unusual. And you have to hear a lot. Not good, very bad.
Whatever said and done, I think women are beginning to impose themselves as threats or as competitors to men in this country who've had it easy for so long.
Ladies can do anything. Either it is a sanitary towel, whether it is an automobile accessories. Both are same, isn't it?
It's up to us women to prove that we can stand where we want to. We can climb, we can stand, we can stick on. We can do it.
And I want to leave my stamp in life, that when there's something that is mine, I want that satisfaction.
Achievement motivation, unless he or she is well motivated, it's difficult. What is important is our inner urge. Oh, I too can do it. I am capable of doing it. One should feel proud. But this capability of everyone, men and women, is very important to bring it to surface. How do we do it? So we put them through a drill of undergoing a EMT lab. So where they are both psychologically and otherwise given certain exercises, and in the process they understand, yes, I have the inherent capability, talent. If he can do it, she can do it, why I can't do it?
Actually, we started off with the development of the personality, where each one of us were made to think of ourselves and how strong we are actually. And we had not been given an opportunity for this sort of development in our homes or elsewhere. Over here, we were totally concentrated upon.
See, in AMT, the type of exercises that we're doing is thematic apperception test.
Right.
Who am I?
Right.
My thoughts, my beliefs. The idea is first you get an entrepreneur to put down what is it that is within you, what is your present state of your mind. Okay?
Exactly.
What is my thought? What is my belief? Who am I?
It's not
What is being reflected?
It's not.
And then as a trainer, let me explain.
You have to change your personality.
No. We are not changing your personality, Mr. Parmeshwar.
No, actually.
It is up to the person to change. You can only facilitate. You cannot dictate and say that you change.
No.
You can only facilitate a change and say that this is what is going wrong.
Should change.
I can tell you to change your environment.
Here comes the role of the trainer during the AMT. It's a very critical issue.
AMT was conducted. The women were taken away from their home environment to a far-off place, and they were not mentally prepared. So when they are not mentally prepared, taking them away from the home and then conduct the AMT there
and giving a strong dosage, and it depends on the trainer. And if it is not counseled properly, it can bring a great disaster. It so happened in one of the cases, some ladies had miscarriage.
Somehow I felt that this AMT, it could be dangerous, looking to the aspects. So I used to practice on my wife. So for me it was just a practice. Then it so happened that before I go for the real EDP, my wife, she is motivated and she has started a unit. And that really helped me in my profession to raise my confidence in my being in my profession. And that way, that way it gave me the idea that this EDP definitely helps.
Normally an entrepreneur, once he or she goes through a program, you just know how you should do it, but what to do, what you must pursue, that you feel sort of lost, But here the most wonderful part is they also offer you a product. They make you do it, so you know at the end what to do and how to do.
So in this institute, we run a number of EDPs which are process and product oriented, like TV servicing and like screen printing, making of boot polish, like that, number of chemical products, making of detergents, decoration glass, tiles, making leather products like gloves, coil winding, a number of ancillary industries are there where a lot of jobbing opportunities do exist, subcontracting. So we train people on process oriented like this type of activities, give them skills. You see, our programs are not just confined in India to metropolitan cities like Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras. We have a duty to train a large number of women. So we go to different places and run training program at the places where potential entrepreneurs live. So we have mobile workshops. And it was a really very, very thrilling experience for us to see that rural women come and learn skills and venture to establish their own industries.
The entrepreneur development programs will have to reorient their courses if they want to reach out to the poorest women. It will also have to manage to reach out where it's very difficult to reach out, and that is the villages in India.